everyone, welcome to FOOTBALLBREHZ, a platform where rival fans discuss, debate and banter each other. My name is DOS and I'll be your host for today's show. Back with us, we have Arsenal fan Kemal, we have Liverpool fan Isha, we have Manchester United fan James, and we have a new guest on the show, Wolves fan Semp. And with today's show, we're going to actually discuss some of the things that are happening right now in the world of football today. But before we do that, we'll have a special announcement for you.
Yo, what's up people? Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel FOOTBALLBREHZ. Also, follow us on our other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Make sure to drop us a comment below. Thanks guys, peace!
Okay, welcome back. First topic that we want to discuss today is the new restructuring plans that Manchester United and Liverpool have to restructure the whole Premier League. What do you guys think about this? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Why? We would love to know. And also, please make sure you subscribe, like, and also comment. We would love to hear from you guys what you guys think as well, not just our panel here. So let me start first of all I'll start with Kemal. I'm sure Kemal looks like he's got some crazy things he wants to say.
Ready.
Kemal, what do you think? Let us know. What do you think about this? Do you think, first of all, is it a good or bad idea?
Obviously it's a bad idea.
Why?
Simple. Because, you know, the two people that came out with that just want more money. That's all they want. It's all about money. It's about controlling the whole league. Because at the moment, out of the 20 clubs, I think it's the 16 have to agree for anything to change. But regarding the top 6, only a few of them would have to agree on something and then they can change it. Instead of the 200 mil that they're proposing at the moment that can go down to the next league, they could easily change that to 150 mil. 2 years, 100 mil, a couple of years, 50 mil. They could do whatever they want. I think it's a terrible idea.
Okay, but then...
Come on, are you only fuming because like your team is not really top 6 anymore? So technically you wouldn't even come into that conversation. Is that why you don't like it?
Hold on. One minute. News just in. Did you lot get battered the last time you played? What was the score against Aston Villa?
All right.
We didn't have that conversation.
Let's get back to the point.
Cool.
Let's get back to the point. Come on.
Yes.
You mentioned that it's a bad idea, but just to be a devil's advocate to you, maybe what some of the big clubs are saying is right now the amount of games that we're playing is so much. There's certain leagues that it's not even necessary for them to be in. One example I'll give you is the Carling Cup, or whatever they call it now. This cup, do you guys even know how this cup started? Do you know the reason why the Carling Cup started?
You know what?
I know why. Well, I've read it somewhere, and please, you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong. But I read they built floodgates in stadiums, and they wanted to create a tournament for that, just to use it. That's how the Carling Cup started. That's what I read.
Enough, but everything starts for a reason, right? Everything starts for a reason.
Exactly. So some of the clubs are complaining that they've got too many games that they're playing, and it's
clubs
true.
Are always going to complain. Everyone complains about everything.
Okay, there's always something. Answer the question.
Wait,
I'm saying.
What question are you answering? Who cares about how the competition got made?
If you look at the
no one really cares about that. But if at the end of the day, you go to Wembley. Let me finish. You go to Wembley, you win a cup, you get money. People are making money. The lower clubs are making money if they're away. What's the problem?
Okay, I hear you. It's just that in our league, it's known that the Premier League, there's a lot more games. There's no really winter, apart from recently the winter break started, but there wasn't a winter break. So players were getting run down. So especially the big teams are in the Champions League, Europa League. They're getting run down. So anyway, good points. You've made good points.
But they've been doing that for years. So why all of a sudden they're going to change it?
Well,
the reason the Premier League or the English League, whatever you want to, whichever competition you're talking about, is because the amount of games that we play.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Winter is Christmas and New Year's ain't the best time of football.
No, it is. You're right. It is.
Okay.
But if you're looking at as a whole, injuries happen because of that. A lot of people fatigue.
It's a way of life. I could walk outside and get injured.
All right. Let's go somewhere else because Kemal just doesn't want to hear right now. All right. Is there anybody that's opposed to what Kemal is saying out of you 4 or out of you 3? Or do you all agree?
I wouldn't even say opposed, but
I agree.
You agree with Kemal, Sam?
Yeah, completely. I mean, one of my big things, especially with regards to the Carabao Cup, is, I mean, the Carabao Cup is a competition that the majority of teams use to bring on youth development and give youth players important first team minutes in competitive game modes that they're not getting at under 23, under 21 level. And to take that away, I mean, it's not the be all and end all, but it would be a detriment to, you know, the youth set up in most clubs. You know, we've brought in a £35 million striker. Don't even get me started on my viewpoint on that. But still, his majority of game time is going to be cup games this season. He's not going to develop, and we're going to have lost a significant amount of money if he doesn't develop. So, and that's what teams use those cup competitions for, as well as, you know, I mean, the FA Cup is taken a little bit more seriously. But to scrap the Carabao Cup, it's got its history. You know, I've got an image of me holding when it was the Worthington Cup. You know, I actually held the trophy. It's got a lot of history, and I just think scrapping it is ludicrous. I think Kemal is absolutely right. It's all about money for the individuals that have proposed this, and it's just it's madness. I mean, the proposition of how Championship teams are going to progress into the Premier League, it's just madness. You know, a playoff between a Premier League club and a Championship club and all the rest of it. It's so complicated. Why mess with a system that works perfectly fine and just invest in that system? Yeah. Don't try and break it. Invest it and make it better.
That makes sense. I mean, it gives me a feeling of that the bigger clubs trying to squeeze out the smaller clubs. That's what it feels like when I see that. Yeah. I mean, especially going to like 18 clubs in the league. I mean, it's a bit weird for me to do that. I agree with what you said, Semp. You know, why don't we invest in it? Make it a reason why people want to fight for this cup. You know, maybe give extra incentives. You know, because it's not just the big teams that rotate. Also, some of the smaller teams from even the championships rotate in the Carling Cup. So that is so weird. So if the championships are rotating, why are they doing that? They're not even taking it as serious. So I think maybe we need to give it an extra incentive. What do you think, James?
100%. You have to keep the EFL trophy, Carabao Cup, because if teams are that worried about it, just play your reserves all the way through and your fringe players. Simple as. You can't be making excuses. Reducing from 20 to 18 is 4 games, right? Yeah. So that's nothing. Every other team, pretty much, every other league has 20 games. 20 teams, sorry. So that's not really going to do anything. If you really want to do it, just play your reserves. You're asking, like Kemal said, for the big teams to just take all the power. 6 of 9. Only 6 have to agree. Every team should be equal in the Premier League. I
agree.
Why do only 9 get a say? That's pathetic.
It's terrible.
Me. You can't do that. That's just taking away all the traditions, the culture of the football. Yeah. Like, if you're really that upset about the amount of games, just play your damn reserve team, get knocked out. Do whatever you have to do.
Agreed. And you know what?
I'm so against it.
And just to add on to what you were saying, I read something online, I can't remember who it was from, but they really made a great point. They said, we don't want English football being changed by 2 American owners in a private room somewhere. I mean, that for me hit the spot. You know, like, you know, Liverpool owners, United owners, why are they changing English football? It don't really make sense.
They do things so differently in America. Even I know the Americans, they wanted to make football where, like, you had headsets on and the coaches could talk to them where they could play football and so on through the game. Do you know what I mean? It's like we don't want it. You know,
Jose would like that. Jose would
be cussing Luke Shaw the whole time. Luke Shaw, he would have killed it. But the thing is, for me, it's like they do something different. I think the Premier League and so on, they just have to do it because this is, for me, it's just a joke if it happens. The only thing I don't mind, to an extent, if they could tweak it, is the change it, keep 20 teams, but have that where the team in 18th maybe plays a playoff against that. I kind of like the idea to that extent, but I don't. But I don't like anything else. Maybe you could look at something else that could maybe make it a little bit more fun. To make it all about control for the clubs and stuff. I think that the team in 16th from the Premier League could easily go down a lot.
Yeah, but you're saying make it a little bit more fun, but it's not like your club is going to be at risk.
Do you know what I'm saying? No, but that club will be relegated anyway. Like, under the current rules, that team will be relegated anyway. This will give them a chance to actually stay up.
Do you not think though, James? It's like playing devil's advocate, because obviously Wolves have come from the Championship. Do you not think it's a bit of a kick in the teeth for the teams that have grinded 46 games in the Championship? You know, blood and sweat. It's like such a tough league to get out of, and they've grinded so many games to get into the playoffs to then have to come to then have to go to a Premier League team just to try and get in. That it's savage.
To an extent, yes. But if you're going to go to, I know you invest in your team and everything for the Premier League, and you don't keep the same players. But for me, a bit ruthless like that. Yes, if you're going to be in there ready for the Premier League, beat the team that's there already.
Beat the worst Premier League team.
But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, beat the worst. What the third worst Premier League team. But
no one's really the worst because listen, any given day, Aston Villa turned up and smacked up Liverpool, so you can't really say beat the worst.
No, but what I mean, like you beat the team in 18. So, anyways, I know you was trying to jab at Cut. I know you were jabbing, but still, I hear you.
Okay, is there any? But you mentioned a good point, James, about the playoffs. Is there any other points that could be useful without changing everything that they proposed, or were they
the parachute payment? The parachute payment. I don't think.
Can you go into that for the people that don't know what that is?
Yeah, the parachute payment is when you get relegated, you get a big, massive payment to help you from your drop, and so on. So for me, I think that you shouldn't get that fat amount just for being relegated. I know it's a bit of a reward for when you get promoted, but I don't think you should get that. I think it should be less, and maybe some of the rest could be spread amongst the EFL teams. I agree that they could do more to help the smaller teams, 100%, especially with what's going on at the moment. Okay. Man United, Liverpool, them teams, they'll always be fine because they're just billionaires. But your your Rotherhams, all them sort of teams, they're going to struggle. So they could spread it amongst it. Don't give them a parachute payment because they finished bottom. They weren't good enough. That's their problem.
Exactly. They took on that debt, so they need to.
That's a bit harsh, though. That's a little bit harsh, though.
I agree. I agree.
No,
they're going to take that debt, they should service it themselves.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. All right. I mean, we run out of time for that segment. It's good that we keep it in the time. But what we can conclude is majority of us don't agree with the whole proposal at all because we believe everyone should be equal in the Premier League. But at the same time, there could be certain elements in that proposal that could benefit and enhance the teams or the people that drop, the teams that drop.
Sure.
Okay, let's go to the next segment. Before we go to the next segment, guys, please, if you haven't liked, subscribe, make sure you like, subscribe, follow the pages right now. We'll keep bringing you more content. So the second segment that we want to talk about is transfers. Yes, we've heard transfer talk for the past couple of weeks and everything, but now the windows are closed officially. And we just want to know, who are the top two teams, let's say if we had to pick two winners in the transfer window and two losers, I would say, in the transfer window. And you can take everything into account as well. So let's start with, I'll start with James first. James, who do you think, two winners, two losers?
Two winners, I would say Chelsea and Everton.
Okay.
It's also possibly, it's a bit harsh, Villa have had an outstanding transfer window, it's looking like. I think Tottenham had a very good one as well. But I think overall, looking at it in terms of what was needed with Alan, who Everton brought in, they brought in, Alan, James Rodriguez has been crazy. Decore's been mad. But bloody hell, Ben Godfrey, they've got, they've made some amazing signings at small prices as well. Yeah. Don't forget that Liverpool was looking to sign Alan for like double what Everton got him for this year, last year, right? Or something like that. Is that right? 70 million or they wanted 70 million and then they sold him for like 34. Yeah. Or something like that.
I think what Everton done really well is they didn't try and go for all the players that everybody was going for. What they did is they went for players that were under the radar that could still do the job if coached properly, and they have a great coach as well. So
Ancelotti
they backed him.
And some of them worked under him, innit?
Yeah, and they backed him, and now you're seeing the fruit so far, of that. So the very good points. Who are the two losers for you?
I'm gonna have to go with City and United. City and United. I think United had made a small, tiny rescue. I can't call it rescue, but we needed
Panic
more.
Buy, that's what it's called.
We needed more. Shut up! I'll come to Arsenal. Literally, we signed Tellez. I think Tellez was an amazing deal for us. He was so cheap. I think Van der Beek was a great signing. Cavani, hopefully should be okay for us.
Cavani was a panic buy.
You know,
I agree.
it
I
wasn't.
don't think Cavani.
It was.
Brehz are dying with bloody panic buying.
moment.
Let me explain. let me explain the Cavani thing. I wouldn't say it was a panic buy only because we have Igalo, who's going to leave in January. We already know that he's going to leave in January. We know we need a backup striker to Martial. You've got Cavani on a free transfer. United didn't necessarily say, okay, Cavani is the striker we're going to get this window at the beginning of the window. They didn't necessarily say that. They had a list of people that they could bring in. At the end of the transfer window, whatever happened, we don't know, but they brought in Cavani. Am I happy with that? Of course I'm happy with that because now we have a backup striker who is better than Igalo. So whatever way we look at it, for me that's a good thing.
Improve the squad.
Exactly. But the thing that's bad for me about Man United is the way they did the business is horrible. Their preparation in the transfer market was horrible. I don't think they got any of their first primary targets apart from Van der Beek maybe. But Telles, they wanted, the Reguilon. That's who they wanted. But, Real Madrid wouldn't give in. Same with who was the other one? Sancho. We wanted Sancho. Everybody knew that. What the hell with Sancho? Thiago, yeah, but Sancho was like a priority. I don't know what Man United were doing through the window thinking that Dortmund were just going to give in. Like, it made no sense to me.
By the way, that's a nice Dortmund top.
Thank you very much. That's a respect to Sancho, innit? I
don't even think Man United was in the window for a striker.
Yeah.
I think that they banked on maybe getting Sancho.
Yeah.
And then they could put someone else out to the wing. They've got Sancho now out to the right, and then they could play Rashford and Martial as two guys, or rotate, or Greenwood, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even think they banked on it. I think they just switched it at the end.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move it. Keep it moving. Semp, who do you think? 2 winners, 2 losers.
I mean, not to be boring, but my two winners has got to be the same as James. Chelsea and Everton.
Same.
Everton has been. They've done an absolute madness this transfer window. James Rodriguez has come into the Prem and he's taken it like a duck to water. Yeah. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And it's bred the transfers that they've made, and Ancelotti coming in has bred new lease on life. And you're seeing what Calvert-Lewin is actually made of now. As a striker. And but in terms of Chelsea, the signings they've made are equally just as good. And if Frank Lampard can get them, he's not good enough.
They need a season.
We'll see. But if he can get them gelled, they're on paper they're arguably one of the best teams in the league. And it's crazy. In terms of
paper don't talk though, because on paper Man City should be winning the Champions League, but they're not. So
no,
absolutely.
But to add to that, Kemal, though, whether Lampard is the guy or not,
he's not.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like Oli.
But
Oli's not the guy either.
All right, let's move on. Whether he's the guy or not, Chelsea have made great signings.
They have.
You bring let's say a world class manager or a manager who's decent. Wolves' manager. Bring him. Let him manage Chelsea. I guarantee you, they're going to be banging.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And that brings me on to the losers. I think we are one of the losers of the transfer window. Personally, I expected us to kick on. We finished 7th twice. 2 seasons, 7th place. I expected us to kick on, go and strengthen, release some of the dead wood that we've got, and maybe make a push to break into the top 4. And instantly, first couple of weeks of the transfer window.
Did you say top 4?
Yeah.
They were knocking on the door, They were knocking on the door before.
I'm just asking, sometimes I don't think I could hear properly. Top 4. Wow.
You haven't seen it for so long.
Semp, you have to understand.
Top 4.
Kamal's still in 1994 where he thinks Arsenal are invincible.
98.
You have to understand.
Or 98. 2002.
Fair enough. All right. Who's your second one, Semp?
My second one has to be United. I mean, for all their failings, the Sancho debacle, the bringing in Cavani last minute. The one thing that I was frustrated about with United is they weren't even looking at centre half options. And after watching, seeing Sunday what happened, it's Sunday League defending. The 2 centre halves, it's Sunday League level defending. The headers for the first goal. It's just madness. And nowhere was there reports of centre halves, being looked at or anything like that.
Now we hear it. Now we hear it. Now we're
hearing it, but the window's dead.
Yeah, I know.
The window's done. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like,
I agree.
Where is, you've got how many wingers and how many, you've got Rashford, you've got Martial, you've got Greenwood, and I'm sure you've got some youngsters as well waiting in the wings. Why are you spending all the time and then not getting it over the line in Sancho when, you've got the likes of Upamecano, Leipzig signed a central defender as cover. You could have approached them and Upamecano is one of the best young talents across world football. Why is he not being looked at? Or,
it's just terrible. It's terrible owners.
And
That's
it's
what
the
it
owner.
is.
Yeah,
Money.
it's the owners. It's the owners. It's no one else. For all Ollie's faults, he can only deal with what he's got.
Exactly.
And Ed Woodward has got to be held accountable, as is the Glazers.
Of course.
For me,
Hell yes.
For me, it's us. For me, winners Everton, Chelsea, and for losers Wolves and United. For me.
Thank you. That I agree. I think with your list actually. Kemal, being quick.
Hello?
Being quick.
I'll be very
Top
quick.
2 and bottom 2.
I'll put Chelsea in there if they have a better manager, so I'm going to scrap them. Everton, obviously, I agree with what the other two just said, and I'm going to throw in Arsenal. I think Arsenal done great business.
How did I know that it was going to say
I
that?
knew.
Of course, oh my God. Aubameyang signed
I
a new
just can't
contract.
do this, man.
Oh, you're really gonna get that in, yeah?
Aubameyang signed a new contract.
He's already with you, bro.
We're
Obviously,
talking
the
about
party
signings.
started. Are you going to talk? Let me finish. Here we go again. Always interrupting me. A party has started at the Emirates. Let's just say that. I don't need to go into that. Isha, you should know who Thomas Partey is because he ripped and destroyed your midfield. So you know who he is. Last minute deadline. We got Cedric signed a new contract.
Who is that?
You just mentioned Cedric. Okay, we're moving on. We are moving on.
Mari.
No,
Ceballos is there. Danny Ceballos is there.
No,
Listen, man, it was a good.
Man,
Let's talk about renewed
Cedric.
contracts.
Gabriel was there as well.
Wow.
Arsenal had a wicked
Cedric.
transfer.
All right. Who's your two losers?
Wicked transfer.
Who's your two
All right.
losers?
Remember you was gassed
The
about
losers
Socrates.
is Manchester United.
And
like
who?
I said, panic
Socrates.
buyers were terrible.
Okay.
Your defense is a joke. I've been telling you about your defense.
That's
for a
nothing to
minute.
do with the transfer. Who's your two losers? Manchester United and who?
Manchester United and Manchester United.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, let's
There you
move
go,
on
you're
from
welcome.
Kemal. Let's move on from Kemal to Isha. Isha, who's your top 2 and bottom 2?
Everton, number 1 for me. They strengthened in positions they needed to strengthen for a very long time. And the quality they've got in for the level of club they are is crazy. So for me, I think they won the transfer window hands down.
They're doing that because of Arsenal, by the way, because it's Arsenal's old owner who put the money into the club. Just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
So he rates
Let's
them
just-
more than you.
So he
Anyway.
he pushed
I'm just
them on
letting
and
you know.
he pushed you guys. All right, keep going.
No, he wanted to
Isha?
push us, but Kroenkes didn't want him involved. He actually wanted to invest for years. But anyway, just
All right.
their information for you.
All right.
And you had no pool, that's why you couldn't get them players. But anyway,
Party. Okay, cool.
Yeah, only
man,
because no big clubs come in.
we'll give you that. We'll give you that.
No bigger teams came
Go,
in.
Isha,
for it.
Isha.
James,
Second one.
don't talk.
Second one.
Anyway,
Isha.
my second one, this may be a bit of a surprise for you guys, but Liverpool, second.
For signings.
Yes.
You think Liverpool have got better signings than Chelsea, bro?
Yo,
I'm going to come back to Chelsea. So Liverpool, for me, second place, because Liverpool's got arguably the best 11 on paper in the Premier League. So improving that team's going to be difficult. Buying Thiago for like 20 mil was, for me, signing of the summer. And a position that we needed. A lot of people were saying if we get that done, we win the league. So that is pivotal. And it changes the way that we play football. We got a backup winger in quality in Jota, Premier League proven. That, for me, it's going to go under the radar just how good that guy's going to be. And a backup left back for Robertson, which we've needed for a long time. And there's not much else that we needed. Like, we've improved in the right places with the right quality. So for me, I put us second. My two...
Havertz.
I'm going to come back to that. My two losers. Chilwell was a great signing. The rest...
Sure. What do you mean the rest?
Let me
Ziyech
come back to that.
Isha, don't have a moment, bro.
Ziyech is not a good signing?
I haven't even seen him yet,
Havertz
bro.
is not
And
a
that's
good
probably going to
signing?
be his Havertz, what's he done so far? Nothing. Werner, he's still in Fabinho's shorts, bruv. Fabinho's shorts, bruv. So
I used to think you were joking
Werner.
when you did that, but you're
Yeah,
serious.
at the moment, bro.
bro, I'm telling you right now, Chelsea is dead
James
food,
Semp,
bruv.
James,
Dead
do you guys agree with what
food.
he's saying right now?
No.
I want to
Dead.
leave this room right now.
Chilwell.
Oh my God.
Seriously, these two,
Chilwell, yeah.
and bloody Isha,
Werner.
are smoking something.
Werner,
Hold
mate.
on, hold on.
All right,
Bro,
all right,
James,
all right.
Isha, let me tell you.
Quick question though.
Isha,
Has anyone seen Werner this season yet? Because I can't find him.
Bruv, you're
Isha,
I
gonna,
can't go to a game and that.
you're gonna judge everything on 4 or 5 games. You're gonna judge everything,
Bruv,
whether it's a
what
good
about-
signing on 4 or
Yes.
5 games.
What
He's
about
dead
Gomez? What about Gomez? What about Keita? How
We're
long
talking
did it
new
take for them
signings,
to
though.
start
How about
playing? I'm
Millamino?
just
How
saying.
about
signings, though.
Millamino?
He's not new. He was in January, innit? So
You're
I started
still,
including
you're
him.
still fighting for Millamino, Keita, and all of them, and they still haven't banged properly yet on a consistent basis. So how are you
Yeah, but
gonna
I'm not saying
say?
they're the best
Waste,
signings.
bro.
But how you, huh?
I'm not saying they're the best signings though. I'm just saying like as it is right now. I say Chelsea, Chilwell, Werner. If he came to Liverpool, he'll be banging right now. Let's be real. So he's dead food. And Havertz, he looks like
Oh my God, Havertz
he
is
looks
probably,
alright.
Havertz is
But then
probably
he
one of
goes
the
like-
best youngsters in Europe.
Yeah.
He was until he went to Chelsea. That's all I'm
You're
gonna
having
say.
a moment.
All right, all right,
there,
let's,
bro.
all
I can't agree with that one.
right, let's move on. Isha, 2 words.
Okay, that was for
Finish
you,
up.
bruv. You donut, because you're not here. My second one is going to be... Now, this is tough, and this is going to be very controversial, but I'm putting both Manchester clubs on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah, and let me explain why. Because United didn't really get their main targets, which is quite obvious.
Yeah.
I feel like I agreed that Cavani, I think, was a bit of a panic buy because Sancho was supposed to come through. They didn't accept the offer, so they thought, crap, we need an attacker. He's free. He's the money ball. He's the money type signing. He's going to sell shirts, rare. It's the typical Woodward type deal. So for me, I was like, that's a bit of a panic. City, for me, they've lost David Silva. They've lost company. I don't think they've replaced them well enough. David
Yeah, but
Silva
the
goes under the
Porto
radar.
guy that they brought in is good, man.
Ferran Torres, yeah, but
Alright.
I don't know. He's
No,
not Premier League
Ruben
proven.
Diaz.
Ruben
Ruben
Diaz.
Diaz is very
Yeah,
good.
he's a good signing.
He's good, bro.
Ake, I think's decent, but he's going to be squad. So for me, Man City's
paid
not
over
done
money
what
for
I
him as
feel
well.
they needed to do. I think City
Alright.
needed to really develop their midfield and get another backup striker to Aguero, and they've not done that. So that's why I'm saying they needed more. They needed
Alright.
more than what they've done.
All right. That's some controversial points been made. Let us know what
Fuck
you guys
Chelsea.
think. Do you agree? Do you not agree? All right, let's move on. Let's move on from this subject. Taking into consideration everything that we've seen in the transfer window, what would you guys say is your top 6 prediction right now as it stands? I know we spoke briefly about it last week, but I think this week, because there's been some transfers like Partey who came in afterwards. Does that change
Party
what you
time.
think about
Woo!
Arsenal? So
Obviously,
let's do
come on
this.
now.
Let's do this very quick. Let's not debate or anything like that. We just want to know your thoughts. What do you think is your top 6? Let's start with Seb first.
I think so. I'm going to go Liverpool taking the crown again. They haven't done anything. I know they lost 7-2 at the weekend, but that's a blip.
Yeah.
I think their squad's unbelievable, and I think they'll go on to win it for a second year running. Second place for me is the whole top 6 is a toss up for me. Truthfully, bar the top spot for Liverpool. I think second place is going to be either Arsenal or Chelsea this year. Chelsea,
Boy.
as much as
Wow.
as much
Go.
as and let me explain. Let me explain
Let
this.
him
Right.
explain. Go.
Let me explain this. So, obviously, with the signings, and I think Frank Lampard, I do disagree with Kemal. I think he has the potential to be a great manager, and I think he could potentially get Chelsea firing and gel together in such a short space of time that they can challenge for second place. Arsenal, the party signing is crucial
I
to
agree.
them, and Arteta has them playing football in a way that we haven't seen Arsenal in over a number of years.
With character.
And Aubameyang is just another level, and not many clubs, ourselves included, have a striker of his caliber, and you need that to get to push
Far,
on.
yeah.
So
Best striker in the league.
those are my sort of top 2 choices.
Okay.
Third and fourth, Spurs, I think are gonna be in the top 4 this year. as well as City. The reason why City aren't, I don't feel City are good enough because they haven't strengthened. They haven't got strength in depth. You know, look at the injuries that they've sustained to Aguero and Jesus.
De Bruyne's supposed to be injured now as well.
Yep.
And you lose De Bruyne.
No, they're saying he might not be injured.
You lose De Bruyne. If they do lose De Bruyne, let's say he's not injured at the moment, but if they do lose De Bruyne, that's Man City done. That's it. Done. It's gone. It's gone. He is their talisman. Yeah, they haven't got the strength in depth, so I do think they'll still hit top four. I just don't think they're going to be second place. Fifth and sixth. I think Everton are gonna be sixth. And who am I missing? So it'd be either Chelsea, Arsenal,
United.
I don't think United are getting into top six this year. I don't.
But I agree.
Unless.
James looks fuming right now. Look at his face.
unless things change. Now, I'm not one of these guys that jumps on the bandwagon and says, Ollie out, Ollie this, Ollie that. But if Ollie doesn't grow a pair of balls,
100%.
Manchester United are going to be in trouble.
100%.
They're already in trouble.
The thing is, it's only 3-4 games. How long has it been? 5 games? 4 games? I don't know.
Some played 3.
Ollie's been in charge for over a year, bruv. Come on.
No, we're talking about the season right now. Kemal always goes and goes somewhere else. But anyway, if he's been dead for a minute, we finished top 4 last season. Where did you guys finish?
Luckily.
Your mouth.
Luckily. Yeah, but we had Emery.
You also had Arteta too, so relax.
And he come in, hold on. He went up. So check yourself. Okay, cool.
All right, thank you very much, Sam, for that. James, top 6. Try to be quicker.
By the way, just quickly, Kemal. You had Arteta. How many points did he get less?
Quick question. Did you win your last game? Yes or no?
Anyway, let's continue. Cool. It's gonna be. Go, James.
8th. Anyways, right. So
first,
we know that I was gonna say City first, but I've changed it now. Mm-hmm. I'm going City first. Paul first.
That's what you are.
Def. Paul first. Shut up, bro. Right, Paul first. Chelsea second. City third. I'm gonna go Spurs 4th. United 5th. Arsenal 6th.
Wow.
That's my top 6.
Okay.
That's my top 6. Arsenal will fall away like they always do, man.
I don't know.
We're gonna help you to get to 5th.
Pogba can fuck off, man. He can do
that.
All right. On that note, let's go to Kemal. Top 6.
What's up? I'll do it quick. So we got Liverpool's gonna win, yeah?
Yeah.
City will be 2nd. Arsenal will be 3rd. Tottenham will be 4th. Chelsea will be 5th.
Damn.
Everton will be 6th.
Okay. I agreed with a lot of it, apart from the Chelsea Spurs for me. I don't.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It'll be that. It was one of them will twitch.
Yeah. Okay. Isha.
Yeah, me and James are pretty much on par. I'm going Liverpool first. Gonna go Chelsea second. Man City third, although they could finish 4th to be honest.
No.
Tottenham 4th. I'm gonna go with United. Arsenal 5th. Sorry, and then United and Everton. It depends. If James Rodriguez stays fit, then Everton are going to finish 6th. And if he doesn't, which I don't think he will, then they're going to finish 7th, United finish 6th. That's kind of what's pivoting on for me. But if they can keep him fit the whole season, I think they'll get 6th and United will finish 7th. Unless United do a madness in January, but that's how I see it.
For me, it's not even unless United do a madness for transfers. For me, I think the team that United have are good enough to finish in that top 4 easy. I just think that Ollie and the players have to find that form that they had last season. If they don't find that form, then they're not getting in that top 6. That's how I see it. He has to have balls to drop Pogba. He has to have balls, maybe to even drop Bruno. Like Bruno hasn't also been firing. Like if you play someone like either Matic or McTominay, play them with Van der Beek, and then play Mata just in front of them. I'm telling you, it will switch up a lot of things creatively as well as the defensive. So Ollie is on Ollie's job right now to get that right with the players. If he doesn't, then I agree with all
you know the issue that Ollie's got at the minute is because like if you look at Jose dropped Pogba and he pretty much damn well lost his job because of it. So like Ollie's probably looking at that and thinking, I've got a quarter of the name that this guy got, and I'm supposed to be dropping this guy.
My thing
Like-
is, you have to look at yourself. You have to look at yourself. You have to say, is this guy going to be detrimental to my job or not? If he believes that the team can do better without him, whether he has a big name or not, he has to go for it. Because if the team start producing results, it's not going to matter whether Pogba or Bruno or whoever it is playing or not. You're bringing out results. But if you drop them and you're still failing, then that's your fault. It's not.
I can't agree with dropping of Bruno. Bruno has been and appears to be your only leader in that side.
Yeah, I agree.
The comments that he's come out with, conversations that have come out that he had in the dressing room after the Spurs defeat.
Yeah.
That is the role that a skipper should be doing. That is the stuff
100%.
a skipper should be doing.
100%.
Yeah, you've given the armband to Maguire, who is acting like.
I agree. The thing is, just to add to your point, me saying drop Bruno is not necessarily... He is the best leader we have, clearly. You
Take
can
him off,
see.
innit?
Exactly, take him off because he is doing bad things on the pitch too. This is the thing. Like, he's misplacing a lot of passing. He's trying also to overdo things. He's trying to do all the defensive work as well as all the... And he doesn't need to do that. But because people around him maybe are not pulling their weight...
Yeah, because Pogba's not doing not doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then Bruno is trying to take the flak like a leader would. He's trying to lead by example, and
You can't do it all yourself.
You can't be a one man show, unless you're Lionel
Yeah.
Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean?
All right, well, that's a whole different
us
topic, which maybe we can discuss separately, just because it's going into a different direction. But James, you want to quickly finish it off? What you gonna say?
Tellez is gonna. I'm telling you, is gonna be a massive player for us.
I hope so.
That's a good
He's
sign.
gonna set our attacks going.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's gonna really set our attacks going. And if we can get Cavani in there,
Yeah.
who's gonna be brutal in the air and just out muscling people, that's one thing that we know.
Yeah.
I could see them two maybe getting a little something. I don't know why Kemal's winning for.
All right,
Pogba has to be dropped.
Tellez is gonna be big.
I agree with you, Semp, as well. Let's move on. Okay, let's finish the show there. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Let us know what you think. Subscribe, like, follow, as we've said before. Also, let us know if you agree with everything that we've been speaking about. We would love to know your thoughts. We would love to know if some of the things we said you disagree with or you agree with. Thank you guys for joining in with this podcast this week. It's been really, really great. And we'll return again next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.